Everything in JavaScript has a data type: numbers, text, boolean, object, and more. We're going to focus on the primitive data types of JavaScript. Let's start with number. For this, let's declare a variable of example and give it a value of a number. I want to output what you've just written into our console. So I'll write console.log. Inside of the console, I'll write the name of our variable. For us to know the data type of what we just declared, let's write type of just before our example variable. So now we know that the number we wrote here is a type of number. To keep this more simple, I'm going to come over here, give space. I'm going to write example, comma, then I'll give space. Instead of quotation mark, I'll write is a type of. Then when I save this will make it easier for you to follow through the lesson. When it comes to numbers in JavaScript, both whole numbers, which is integer, and floating numbers, which are numbers that has decimal point, are considered to be numbers. So let me break down what floating and integer is. Whenever a number is a whole number, like this, it's considered to be an integer. But when we add a decimal point to it, then this is a floating point. So for strings, we have to surround our text with a quotation mark. Let me show you. If I should write Michael without surrounding it with either double or single quote and save this, it will show an error. What we have to do to solve this issue is to surround this with either double quote or single quote. Let me start with a single quote. Now, when I write single quote, our code now works, but we have an issue. What if I want to write something like Michael's laptop? Despite that we have a starting of a quote and an ending of a quote, we still have an error. If I should remove this single quote and replace it with double quote, this solves our issue because the system now knows that this double quote is what surrounds our strings. But if you want to permanently solve the problem of remembering whether to put double quote or single quote, then I suggest you use what is called template literal. To do this, we have to put our string inside of a double backtick. Now, let's assume that you want to compare whether something is true or false. That is where boolean comes in. So to write a boolean, you have to write true in smaller case and save it. It shows true is a type of boolean. So it's either you write true or false. The both of them are Boolean data type. These Boolean data types will be very handy when we start learning conditional statement. The fourth in our list is undefined. So when I save this, you see undefined is a type of undefined. Undefined is when a variable is declared but no value is assigned to it. So apart from doing it this way, you can remove all this. Then when you save this, it will still show undefined. So the last in our list is null. Null is used when you want to tell the system that you don't want to assign any value, meaning that you can intentionally write null, and JavaScript understands that you don't want to assign any object or any value to. Do you know you can convert one data type to a completely different data type? So we're going to come down here and reassign the value of this example. Make sure you don't start it with another let to throw an error. Another thing you should have in mind is make sure that you do not use const as your variable keyword. So meaning that for this to work, you have to use let. For me to convert this to string, I'll write string in capital letter. Inside of the string, I'll write example. Now when I save this, null is now a type of string. What you just learned is primitive data types in JavaScript. Like and hit the follow button for the next video.